Hey everyone, welcome back to another video on the Demon List channel. Today's episode will cover notable community events that happened in the month of July of 2022, such as releases of notable levels and the verification of silent CLUBSTEP. So without any further ado, here's bebelnirk with the main story.
Back in the days of Hotline Bling and Hamilton, the Geom Trash community's addiction to difficulty was starting to catch its stride. In the wake of a new wave of humanly impossible levels, a certain silent level would be uploaded that was quite nothing like them. This is Silent CLUBSTEP by Salient, a level that would be a staple of difficulty and prestige for years to come. It quickly grabbed the attention of the community, and many top players back then saw it as a fun yet hard challenge to attempt small runs on. And over the years, players would complete individual sections of the level that would also turn into some of the hardest challenges of their time. However, that wasn't enough. A whole 5 years after its release, in 2020, a player named Arrow would do 67 to 100, the best run on level of the time. Halfway through that year, Icecave partnered with Salient to update the level to make it possible on all refresh rates, which also, as a result, nerfed many timings. This made getting progress on a level significantly more attainable, though its difficulty still felt far out of reach. This update would ultimately kickstart the race for progress again, causing runs like 62 to 100, 12 to 25, 24 to 63, and 14 to 54 to all be achieved by a collection of players mere days after it was released. Things would slow down for a bit until 2 months later. Hyperbola would be the first person to pass the ship from zero, setting a new world record of 11%. Only a week later, they also did 9 to 25, meaning they had the pre-drop in 2 runs. And finally, after focusing on runs to 100, Hyperbola managed an insane run of 24 to 100, completing Silent CLUBSTEP in 3 runs. At this point, what was once impossible under common sense was seeming to inch closer and closer to reality. However, Hyperbola's seemingly dominant reign over Silent CLUBSTEP would be soon challenged by an unknown player known as Vision. After an intense few months of creeping up to his competition's progress, Vision would supersede Hyperbola's record from zero. It seemed like one of these two were going to be the first to pass the pre-drop, when all of a sudden the top player Paco would upload a video becoming the first person to pass the pre-drop of Silent CLUBSTEP. The seemingly out of the blue progress shocked many, and it meant that the level had finally been completed in 2 runs, even if it was by 2 different players. Vision would soon blow back by getting 24 to 100 and 31%, beating Paco's best from zero. Septagon 7 and Hyperbola would also get 24 to 100 and 17% respectively. Vision would also top his best progress, achieving an astonishing run of 14 to 100. It was now not a matter of if this level would be verified, but a matter of when. And with spectacular timing, the next major progress to come was Vision's world record attempt of 65%. But Paco certainly wasn't slacking, as soon after she would tie Vision's record of 65%. However, Vision would strike back with the big guns with a run of 12 to 100, the new biggest run on the level. No one could have seen coming the progress Paco would set soon afterwards, however, getting an even better run of 11 to 100, while Vision would also make amazing progress. Paco didn't stop either. After getting 72% twice and then later 9 to 100, the impossible would finally be done on July 17th, 2022.
I verified it!
Oh my god.
What?
What?
That's right, the most notorious impossible level of all time had just been verified. Hours later it was rated and looks to place within the top 5 of the demons list. Silent CLUBSTEP verification is surreal and goes to show how far top players have come and how far they can continue to go. Who knows? Maybe someday Master E from the YouTube comment section may be right someday.
Starting off in other news, the popular creator LaserBlitz has come back with a brand new level, and it looks stunning. Lightning Speed features clean designs with the signature LaserBlitz style, as well as very interesting gameplay. It was originally going to be for Viper's remake contest, a remake of Lightning X, but he stopped playing before he could get it out. So now, he decided to return to the game and finish it. We are glad to see LaserBlitz make another level again, and we wish him luck for whatever he does in the future. Another creator that dropped another level was FunnyGame, but in a different way. GeoGame, the person running FunnyGame's account as of now, made one final level before he heads on to the military. It's actually an extreme demon that was verified by Zippy and looks visually interesting, as all of FunnyGame's levels do. We wish GeoGame good luck in the military, and we thank him for the levels he has provided us over the years. Moving on, GD has been took to the 3rd dimension. 3 Dash is a recreation of Geometry Dash but in 3D. featuring original levels and some interesting gameplay. The 3D effects are mainly explored in the camera controls, and how your icon has complete freedom to move in any direction, causing a lot more confusion than your standard GD level. This level is made by Deluge Drop, and it's a super impressive and well received spin on GD, so huge props to them. MegaHack V7 has got another update that introduced some neat features. These include a pause countdown, a TPS bypass, fixed rotated hitboxes in the editor, and most amazingly, a replay bot. The replay bot offers a lot of cool options to bot levels and will definitely help out with showcasing levels. There's a ton more features we didn't mention, so if you want to see them, I'd recommend watching Absolute's video on it. Good job once again to him. And finally, we have reached an insane amount of extreme demons in this game. We now have over 500. It's pretty bizarre to think that a little over 4 years ago we didn't even have over 100, and now we have 5 times that. Difficulty really evolves fast, and we thank players over the years for constantly pushing this game's difficulty to new heights, and doing things once thought impossible. It truly is a huge milestone, and we can't wait to see how this number inflates in the years to come.
July 2022 was a notably eventful month for level previews, showcases, and trailers for a variety of high-quality extremes. One of the more recognized of these demons is the spiritual successor to the legendary top extreme demon Zodiac. Hosted by the former Verifier, Xander, Spectre features a wide array of talented design creators with some of their best work, such as Pegasus, Osiris, and the Shoot. This colorful and overall impressive extreme demon is nearing its conclusion with only a handful of parts remaining. It's likely we'll see this level out soon, so good luck to all the creators! The full showcase of Sinister Silence, a 9-minute 1.9 themed extreme demon hosted by Waffle and Rico LP, has been published, showcasing neat designs from a wide array of creators. The level still remains in open verification, but will be a tough challenge to attempting players in its current state. Nevertheless, we wish everyone who's attempting Sinister Silence the best of luck. After almost 3 years since its initiation, the Yangire, Dorami's biggest collab yet, has finally been also finished this month. The level works very well as a sequel to the Yandere, with intense gameplay and very nice design work throughout its entirety, and the level has aged quite well with its decoration updates. Congratulations to the team on finally finishing this level, and good luck to Dorami on the verification.
First up to cover on our list of recently released levels this month is Schmarleyville by Ren241, the creator of half the demon list. Of course, that means they have released another extreme demon this month. It is merely the second most recent of the levels they've made, and the quality holds just as strong as ever. As is customary with most Ren levels, it's incredibly colorful and fast-paced with energy in spades. The rapid-fire gameplay consists of heaps of difficult timings across various game modes, using cube a lot rather than banking on chipper-tight wave sections. The decoration is just as entertaining, with fresh designs the whole way through, complemented by immersive effects. An interesting feature not shared as prominently in many of Ren's other levels is the inclusion of simple yet polished art in the last few parts, really rounding out the level's content. While it isn't quite as difficult as some of Ren's other levels, it is still expected to place high in the extended list. If timing's out your jam, then take a trip on the wild side and enter Schmarleyville. Next up is another really high quality level, a solo by the talent creator Yo Reed called the Sulphur Sea. The Sulphur Sea is based off the wildly popular Calamity mod in Terraria, specifically from a biome called the Sulphurous Sea. The gameplay is relatively fast-paced, but is widely regarded as a lower-end extreme demon, making it more accessible to the general player base. Each part of the level is memorable in its own right, with detailed art pieces and block designs depicting various elements of the Sulphurous Sea. If playing a level that takes you through a journey catches your interest, then the Sulphur Sea is probably for you. Go check it out, and great job for Yo Reed for such an amazing solo. From one banger to the next, we have Silk, and a very unique extreme demon built by Agate and verified by some Zeronium guy. In a similar manner to Shardscapes, which features only robot and many strange timings, Silk has only UFO gameplay with lots of tight and awkward gaps. This level is very simplistic in its design, but this approach ends up working in the level's favor as there is a strong sense of polish and cleanliness about it. If it were to be rated, Silk is projected to place somewhere within the top 100. Hopefully this pleasantly wacky level can get more of the attention it deserves soon, as well as the rate. Congrats to the Gate for showing that there is no limit to fresh ideas. Next, we have Prisma by Cooper Super 8 and so many others. At first glance, Prisma might not appear to be anything special, simply a difficult to find Mega Collab like so many others, but it becomes far more impressive when you take into consideration the fact that this Extreme Demon Mega Collab is utterly and completely done on mobile. Each of the many talented creators are mobile as well as the parts they made, and Prisma was verified and released on mobile as well. Clocking in at just under 2.5 minutes in length, Prisma is an interesting and decidedly fun experience showcasing the talent of some of the biggest names in mobile Geometry Dash. While it's not list-worthy, it certainly still is an extreme demon, so be sure to show your love for the mobile community and give this level a try. Everybody involved did a fantastic job, and we hope to see more levels of this nature in the future.
For this month's list update, we have a handful of promotions. Starting off, Revoltzy got promoted to list moderator, Arvel got promoted to helper, and Skizzle rejoined as one as well. We also have two major updates regarding Pointer Crate this month. First off, a low detail mode project server was made in order to help with the creation of LDNs. This is to update the old Pointer Crate ones that were outdated with new, more effective and up-to-date ones. You can actually submit your own LDMs that will go through a system until they're rejected or approved, so if you have some to submit, go ahead. The second one is a bit more relevant to players, and those are the new updated guidelines as well as the new MegaHack v7.1s. The 2.0 guidelines consist of more thorough explanation as well as the addition of necessary raw footage for all players as well as clicks. The new MegaHack v7.1 hacks that were allowed by the list are shown on screen, but one of the most important is the TPS bypass, which allows players to use extra frames but not visually see them. Lastly, we have the list changes for this month. Arcturus was moved to number 5 above Hard Machine and below Firework. Friday Vortex was placed at number 119, Gustavo Fring was placed at number 80, Esfera was placed at number 28, and Slaughterhouse was moved to number 1 again above Abyss of Darkness. The last big change this month comes with none other than Oblivion, which got placed all the way up to number 6.
As for the most notable completions of this month, Xeroxy beat the number 1 demon Slaughterhouse, nobody beat Abyss of Darkness, VSC Man and Tuggy were able to complete Sakupin Circles, SpiritX and Jeller beat Firework, Thunder, Tiago, Trick, Detrezzo, Tunax, Emiliano 56, Xeroxy, and Jonas lead Arcturus, Space UK, Skizzle, and Brumic put the recently placed top 10 Oblivion under their belt, Sutran, Thunder, and Cryonics beat Hard Machine, Apnix and Fear beat Tartarus, Hydra and Dan 2D slayed Sonic Wave Infinity, and Tundra and Reptilian beat True Effect. Huge congratulations to all of these players on beating these extremely difficult top 10 demons. Along with this, popular player WatchPiggy verified the old silent level Theory of Silent this month. Created by the chaotic Neko in 2.0, this level consists of very tight wave sections and strike flies that make it a difficult level to accomplish, and we give our huge GGs to WatchPiggy for completing it. Hey, Kutsu here. This month's Demon review will be on the recently released level by Rock Wizard 5 named Input Code. While this level may not be extreme, as I could see it being much more of a borderline insane, it is still worthy of covering due to its very polished effects and nice style. While the deck was very nice though, the gameplay just wasn't for me. So let's rip that band-aid off first. After beating this level, I wanted to be able to talk it up and recommend it to my friends, but sadly there were too many glaring problems with this level that made my experience very unenjoyable. The level starts off with a very slow ship part similar to Thanatophobia, and the same criticisms come with this. Being the ship part that it is, it requires a lot of clicks to pass it every time, which can tire out your finger from playing the level for too long, and can cause the entire experience to become much more boring. After this is a cube, with one notable click being the last one, where the timing can be very inconsistent and based on the previous orbs, and many of your attempts past the ship will die here and restart your run very quickly. Then comes to a robot and a ball, which I have no problems with until the last click of the ball, which begins a very common trend with this level, blind timings. The screen goes black and then you are thrust very suddenly into a click that is hard to time correctly with the blind nature of it. After this is a UFO with some little bit inconsistent double click timings, and then a ship part with nothing that in it that is very hard except for this one green orb click, which is way too hard for its own right and a huge choke point. After this is 4 more blind timings that give enough leeway to be excusable, and we now get into the second half, which has much of the better and more enjoyable gameplay. There are only a couple problems I have with this half, those being the red orb here being a choke point, this click being inconsistent due to it being inside of a speed change, and this completely blind cube section which perfectly demonstrates why blind click sync should never be done in harder levels. Due to everyone's monitor and PC being different, the clicks will not sync the same as it does for the creator, and for me I had to anticipate the clicks and could not just click on beat, making these 2 timings in the first click of the spider afterwards completely blind, and with that, very annoying and inconsistent. After this is the spider section that nicely rounds out a level that I simply wish was polished a little better in some spots. I give this gameplay a 5 or 6 out of 10. As for the deco, this is where the level gains a lot of respect for me. This is a very polished level with effects that are very nice to look at. The creator does a very good job of visualizing the song, and while the blind sections do not work well for the gameplay, they make the song expression much better in my opinion. Every part is very unique song expression, and the dynamic nature of the drops fits very well, and as well does the clever use of fake orbs in the cube and copy paste in the last spider. Overall, I think the deco makes up for the gameplay a lot, and I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. Rounding up, even with the gameplay, I think this level deserves about a 7 out of 10.
This month's player shoutout goes to an incredibly underrated player who currently stands in the top 50 on Pointer Crate, GD Tombstone. GD Tombstone has done some crazy things in the game throughout their career, with the hardest of verdant landscape and having 37 list demons. It's very uncommon to have a skilled player go under the radar, so be sure to show this player some love and check out their channel. In June, we chose, choose anything that month. Okay, this month we decided to choose Dol Damos by Jazar. As always, the first 3 players to beat it will receive a special shoutout in our next video, as well as has their names recorded in the Demon List Discord server. We wish you all luck and look forward to seeing who can beat it first.
And that wraps up this month's highlights video. The writers and voices were Kutsu, RockHole, CXN, rocipher, Loading, Ender, bebelnirk, and Cunk. The editors were Kutsu, Cunk, and LastPrismAlex. Thanks for watching!